Hey friends and church family of FPCA, we are in the preparation of getting our sanctuary ready for in-person worship on Sunday, June 28th. But we wanted to give you a heads up on what to expect and maybe what not to expect if you choose to come to worship on that day. In addition to this video, you'll be receiving a lot of what I'm saying and more in a documented form so you can read and digest. But the first, maybe the most important thing we want to share is one of the recommendations from the Texas Department of State Health Services. And they recommend that the at-risk population, quote, watch or participate in the service remotely. Well, how do they define at risk? It says this: those who are 65 or older, especially those with chronic lung disease, moderate to severe asthma, chronic heart disease, severe obesity, diabetes, chronic kidney disease undergoing dialysis, liver disease, or weakened immune system. And so if you have any questions or doubts, if that's you, we would really encourage you to talk with your physician and get their recommendation on what you should do. Also, if you have fever, if you're ill, if you have symptoms, or you've been around people in your household or others that have been ill, please just stay home for Sunday, worship online, and know that we'll have a place for you and you and everyone in your household as well. We know of other churches of people kind of with the strategy of, well, God will protect me, I'm going to go to church. Well, he might. Jesus also said, do not put the Lord your God to the test. Okay, so let's follow the words of Jesus and be good disciples there, thinking of ourselves and also others that will be around us worshiping. So if you do determine that you're going to come on the 28th or afterwards, we're going to walk through what it's like to come from the parking lots into the sanctuary and back out, just so you know what to expect. So whichever parking lot you use, whether that's the north lot or the south lot, greeters will be out here to direct you to the narthex. We'll have two entrances in the narthex, but this will be the one place that we come in and go out. So follow me. This come from the north lot. Follow the directions and a greeter will be here to open the door for you and you can enter that way. If you need wheelchair or accessibility insurance, we really recommend you parking in the south parking lot. And just remember to give space to others. And as you come in, we will have markers on the sidewalk as a reference so you can stay appropriately distanced in that 6-foot space. But if you do park in the south parking lot, you can come right up here. Again, a greeter wearing a mask and gloves will be here to greet you at the door to come on in for worship. So whichever entrance you use, our greeters will direct you to the center aisle entrance of the sanctuary. Again, you'll see some markers on the floor to help give you a guide on how to distance yourself from others. And we will have ushers in the center aisle to seat you, and we'll be seating from front to back. And so be sure to listen. And I know that means you may not be in your pew, as if we really have those, for a Sunday. That's okay. We'll all get through this together, right? So just follow the directions of our greeters at the doors and our ushers down in the center aisle. As you'll see, we have every other pew marked off. We'll have some reference markers for distancing in the pews. Also, we are in the process of removing Bibles, hymnals, envelopes, pencils, anything that's grabbable from the backs of the pews. We will have some hand sanitizer and Kleenex for those who need it. But when you come, expect those will not be there, as well as the pew cushions. Okay, so all this is just being done to be as safe as we can to protect you and everyone else who comes. There will be a few things we don't do normally in our worship service, right? We won't be passing of the peace with shaking hands or hugging. We won't be passing offering plates or communion plates on those Sundays. We will have an offering receptacle in the back that as you leave, you can drop that in there. But we really just encourage you, however you have been giving during this time, whether that's through the mail, online, even through our church app, please continue to do that. That seems to be very efficient and is working well. And so for now, that's what we would encourage. Also, we will not have congregational singing as we begin worship again. That's determined a high-risk activity, and so we will have music. It'll just be in other forms. So just know as you come in that that will not be part of our service. We will have paper bulletins that you can receive if you'd rather use electronic version on your phone or device. We always have those online. They will remain to be there for you to use. So after the service, when it's time to go, the ushers, as they brought you in front to back, we will release pew by pew back to front. And the purpose of this is just to sort of control the flow as we leave. We don't want to jam up the center aisle, nor do we want to jam up the narthex. So as you go, please follow the directions and just go on and head out the building and back to your cars so that we can get people out of here in a decent and orderly fashion. And we really believe that all this will be done, one, to God's glory, two, for as safe as an experience that we can provide. And we do look forward to worshiping with you again if it is the right day for you to come. One other thing I want to mention is we are asking people to register online or to call the church office to let us know that you're coming. And the purpose of this is for a couple of reasons. One, we need to have an idea of how many people are coming. We have a capacity in this room with the current ratios for 115 people. So we need to know when we'll be reaching that capacity and making plans for a second service eventually. Also, if you or someone ends up testing positive for the virus, that gives us an idea that you were here that day, who was with you. And so that's really the only reason. Also expect, we'll be taking a picture tastefully from the front. So we know who is here, who is seating around whom. Again, if someone tests positive, we can let people know that they were possibly exposed to that. Also, this is going to be BYOBs. Bring your own beverage, preferably water. The water fountains will be shut off. Also, bring your own Bible. Again, we will not be having Bibles in the pews. So you can either bring your own physical copy or, again, on a phone or a device. And last thing I'll mention, please, if you can, use a restroom before you come. Our restrooms in the narthex will be available, but they'll be single use. We'll have an attendant. They'll have to be cleaned after each use. So if you can, go before you come, hold it till you get home. But if we know emergencies will happen, they will be available, but in limited fashion. So I think that's about it. Please be sure to read this. Like I said, probably more detailed than what I shared today. It's a lot, but just know we're doing everything we can to make this the safest place possible. And if you can't, let's just pray real quickly as we begin to consider worshiping together again. Holy God, we come before you and we do ask for your protection. We pray for a cure for this virus, and we look forward to the day we can gather again and worship you like we have been. We ask for your protection on our members, our friends, and our family, our country. We pray for our world, Lord, that we can get past this. But in the meantime, we pray that we continue to do all we can to share your word, whether that's in person, online. We know we're having a great global reach, and that would not have been possible without this. So we thank you for that, the opportunity for technology. And just we pray that we all use the wisdom that you've blessed us with as we determine if June 28th is the right day for all of us to come back to worship. So we love you and we praise you and we thank you and we do everything for your glory. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen. See you soon.